getting back in the morning when I looked at it in the morning.
70% of the precincts were reporting.
Tight.
Yeah, it was so tight. It was 0.2% or whatever. David Chalian said, it's hard to see when you look at the clock. It's 10:16 p.m. You start to wonder whether there's not anything askew. David Chalian on CNN. Wolf Blitzer noted that at 10 p.m. again, 70% of the precincts were reporting 4 years ago. We're not getting a sense of how long the quality control might take, what exactly the quality control process is, and that the party is undertaking right now. And so now the party, they're sticking to this notion of we're doing quality control checks. I'm not sure how much longer they can sort of say that word and not have questions surrounding whether or not there is some reporting problem, there is something askew, or is everything fine and they're just being super cautious. There are more candidates this time, so give some grace, but to your point, this came in pretty quick, and it was very close, so it's not like it was a blowout. It's not like it's easy to count. So it's what could be going on here. They're just being extra careful, but hopefully we get some sort of indication there. So there's really no true results, which is very, very disturbing. So we're really at this point just kind of treading water here. It's very odd.
Oh yeah, yeah, we really are
in the extreme.
Yeah, definitely. It's different than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, what we need to get is...
I feel like for some reason, that the votes are really close for some reason.
Do you think they could be closer than we expect?
Yeah, I think that's what's really getting the votes really delayed. I think that there are probably some precincts that are either tied or really close, and they just want to make sure that the votes are correct.
Yeah. Not really full... Yeah, I mean, not really full decisions out there yet, which is very, very... It's very, very tough. So, anyway... It looks like that... I don't know. It's just... You just don't know where to go. There's a funny... they
put a lot more votes than Biden. Sanders is up a lot.
Oh, really? I wonder what they just put in there.
Overtook Biden.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's being loaded. Is that on the Iowa results?
Yeah. That's on the lower one.
On the New York Times?
If you scroll down.
And this is the first vote?
You look at all the votes. Yeah, the first vote.
That they took that off. This is the final round here. Final vote says Pete Buttigieg 1.5K and then 1.51 for Bernie, and still up there. But
I have first vote. Yeah,
the first vote. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so Bernie Sanders up in the first vote. Buttigieg up with the 27.1. And as we talked about it, that's not entirely reflective, though, is it, of the total delegates that you're going to end up getting if you're any one person?
No, it's not at all.
All right, so the kind of disturbing thing is there's videos of coin flips emerging on Twitter. So if they can't get to one, the precinct site's deadlocked, they'll do a coin flip. There were reported to be about half a dozen tied caucuses in 2016. The rules allow for that any kind of chance method, whatever you're flipping, to decide the winner. There is some campaign frustration coming in, according to reports here. It definitely makes a lot of sense. Dubuque 19, Bernie, Warren, Pete, Biden, and then Amy's out, and then we have Biden, Pete, Amy, and Warren in Bernie out. These are just two different precincts in the city of Dubuque. So some of these precincts may look really, really great in one place or another for one person, but it is so impossible to tell until we get these real results coming in. It's like we have to hammer that home. So it's very, very hard to tell. So hard to tell as we look for more information about what could be going on here as we approach 11 p.m. as we're getting reports of some nervousness coming on in the Joe Biden election night party. So there are many videos and pictures on Twitter of people him just mocking people as people just mocking his showing. But before we get to talk about the nervousness, let's get to a little bit of, see if we can get a little bit of Sanders HQ, or whatever happens next. We'll keep an eye on the reports from the HQs from CNN. But first, again, about this Joe Biden thing, as people... this is the Buttigieg HQ. Let's get a listen on that.
Right now about what's going on. And frankly, Dana, there's a lot of tight-lipped action happening here, especially with the Buttigieg campaign, not talking a whole lot about the problems. But one aide did tell me that they are just simply waiting to see what the results are. But I did speak to another aide from a different campaign, from the Biden campaign, that said that they believe that caucusers are still caucusing and that there are problems with the app that is supposed to be used for the reporting. So that's some of the reason that they have to explain for this delay. Meanwhile, the Buttigieg campaign is just relying on their own organizers. They've heard back from 76% of their precinct captains. They have captains in all 1,600 districts here, precincts here in Iowa. So that's what they're relying on now. Back to you, Wolf.
All right, thanks very much, Abby. It's the top of the hour. It's 11 p.m. Here on the East Coast, 10 p.m. Out in Iowa right now. 4 years ago, 90% of the precincts in Iowa had already reported the results in the Democratic presidential caucuses. Right now, 0% of the precincts have reported the results, and it's causing a lot of heartburn out there, especially among the candidates. They want to know what's going on. The candidates.
Yeah, that's pretty much bad. The tale of what's going on right now. 90 versus 0. At this time period.
I mean, this is going to be all night. I don't know if we can stay up.
Yeah. I think we're going to start thinking about putting in the time limits here on the episode. But, very, very strange stuff. Hopefully they can get this fixed out soon, because this could be a problem. Anyway, that is if we have. So, you know what we are going to do? I mean... We keep guessing, but first we want to get some of the report here from Joe Biden's election party. As people streamed in Joe Biden's election night party at Drake University, attendees were nervously awaiting the results. Biden not met the viability threshold in a Johnson precinct where Melanie Weatherall, a 50-year-old former nurse, said she caucused. She said she's very discouraged because people aren't waking up. They don't understand. I keep talking to people until I'm blue in the face because none of them can beat Trump or the Republicans, so we're going to be stuck with Donald Trump for another 4 years. Again, that's an electability argument that we see so often with Joe Biden. And a good question about whether or not Iowa Democrats will fall for this. Like, will they go for this electability argument? Because I think there's so many different things that will come up in a 2020 campaign with Joe Biden and Donald Trump, as we now see. We had a big change from James midway through our time on air, but she said she's very discouraged. She doesn't understand what's going on here. Tom Rial, a precinct captain for Biden in the suburban West Des Moines, said he was nervous in his precinct. The top 5 candidates were virtually tied, Buttigieg taking 3 of the 11 available delegates, and Biden, Klobuchar, and Warren and Sanders taking 2 each. He said he was surprised to hear from friends in more rural precincts that Buttigieg hadn't been strong. I don't know how things are going. It looks like a bunch of ties. And I don't know, really, James, seems to be the word of the night here. We've been able to get yes, soon. Chase coming in. Chase Henges are... My fellow Bernie supporter here says there's some next level BS coming on. I don't know. Do you think it's BS here going on? But whatever, even if it's not, I think we're definitely owed an explanation here, a little bit better than what we're getting
for why the delay is so
yeah.
Oh yeah. This delay is really bad, and I think that there's something going on that is definitely not. Definitely worrisome. I mean, look, with 0% of the votes coming in, and I think we got to figure out what's going on here, because, I mean, the fact that they got 90% 4 years ago at this time is what's a little bit kind of absurd.
It's a huge
that they
deal.
Got 0 as of right now. Oh yeah, they're not even doing anything about it right now. It seems like, it's like very little votes coming in still. And it's 11:03. Here it's 10:03 there. I mean, it's still pretty late. So this probably be going past midnight, I would argue, over there in Iowa. So
Yeah. That's definitely
a problem.
Yeah, over here. Like, are we going to see some time where, like, do you see results coming in like that, or will we have a long drawn out process of results coming
New
in?
Hampshire maybe. New Hampshire's going to be quick.
New Hampshire's going to be quick, but this is not going to be. Is what you're saying?
No, this is not. This is going to take a while. Caucuses usually do take a bit of time.
Yeah. So
even if they started now, it would take them an hour and a half to 2 hours to get all results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's going to be a big dilemma for a lot of these people. So, excuse me. Yeah, it is really unclear. All we get is just things trickling in. Like, we're up to, like, on the official count, like 1,000 votes at this point in time. Because we're not getting a lot at all.
No, not at all.
So there's a really interesting Chiron on Fox, right? It's like they're running Chirons right now over in Fox as they talk about this. Favor or oppose single-payer government-run healthcare? Favor 70%, which is very interesting. And the Iowa Democrats talking about this. So that is the interesting stuff. So another report says the room is filling up here at Precinct 21 in Iowa City, and the volunteers for the campaigns are already starting to float around the room, trying to convince caucus goers undecided to join their side. The volunteers tailor their pitches to respond to caucus goers' specific concerns. For example, I just overheard a Sanders volunteer enthusiastically talk up a Jacobin magazine article about Sanders' transgender rights, a stance on transgender rights. So that's pretty cool to get that. And here, Andrew Yang's or Bernie Sanders supporters coming out there and doing the same thing. Andrew Yang about to speak at a caucus site over in Des Moines, though he did a long time ago. It was 3 hours ago. But in the end, we, again, still do not know as we wait for possible speeches. Not really many people can speak a lot because there's nothing really to speak about, as we are beginning to find out here. At Drake University in Des Moines, Buttigieg, first alignment, up with 172. Tulsi and Yang, both not viable in this one. Klobuchar with 140, Warren with 212, Biden with 131. So that is a big precinct there, Drake University in Des Moines. We're getting multiple precincts from Drake University. The university is probably going to have an interesting role in this and getting a lot of coverage there. Here's an update. Let's see if we can get a update from Jeff Zeleny of CNN about what could be going on here. See if he has anything interesting to say about what could be possibly causing this delay.
Several party chairs, so they were calling in the results old-fashioned way, if you will, and the lines have been jammed and other things. I did also talk to a separate state Democratic official who was in this hotline room, and he said the mood in there was fine. He said this is a lot of information to process, so they were taking their time. So that's the party line right now, that they are having a quality control check. But frankly, the campaigns aren't buying it. And as David was saying earlier, they are losing valuable time here for momentum going forward. I was just at a precinct across town at Precinct 38 at the Des Moines, at the Drake Fieldhouse, and the precinct chair there was also calling in the results over the phone, not using the app because of a glitch in the reporting. So it appears that the calling in these results is taking more time than the instantaneous app. We do not know if it's more than that. We don't know how widespread it is, but that is what we know here right now as those party officials, those presidential campaign officials, they thought they would be at their victory parties or licking their wounds perhaps. Now they're headed downtown Des Moines to try and find out from party officials what the holdup is. Wolf?
It's interesting, and give me a sense of the mood that you're seeing out there, Jeff, because there must be a lot of frustration, a lot of awkwardness right now. What's going on with the Iowa Democratic Party?
Sure. This is something that Central Time here, so it does not seem as late, if you will. I talked to one official who said it's only right before